Okay, let's go over the treatment plan and the case wrap-up for Sarah. So here are my impressions of what's happening with her case. So I write, Sarah suffers from Graves' disease, which has been managed with radioactive iodine therapy. She is currently on thyroid hormones and working with endocrinologists to reduce and eventually eliminate her T3 medications. She will continue to stay on T4 replacement. It is possible she has been prescribed excess thyroid hormones that have significantly impacted her metabolic rate and have contributed to her becoming overweight. Let me point out a couple things. When people have radioactive iodine therapy, or even if they have surgery of their thyroid gland, it doesn't completely destroy their entire thyroid gland. And there's still remnant tissue that's there. And the autoantibodies continue to react against those tissues that are still there. And then as those tissues get attacked, those tissues contain thyroid hormones. They get released in the bloodstream and they can increase metabolic activity. Sometimes people get these hypo responses that are there. Now, if you look at her history and look at the paperwork she has filled in with her case review, she thinks every single symptom she has is related to T3, and she constantly is playing with this T3 pattern. But she is underweight, and it seems to him like she's completely overstimulated at this point. So she's got to work with her endocrinologist. And part of the problem is, if you look at her history, is she's constantly asking for more and more T3 all the time as she's working with different physicians. Now, I also put her body mass index and the waist-hip ratio indicates that she is underweight. Her current weight is 99 pounds, and her normal body weight should be 115 to 120. She also has patterns of hypoglycemia and hypotension. Her perfusion index is low at 0.62, and she exhibits poor patterns of circulation with a 17 degree Fahrenheit difference of temperature between her thighs and her toes. She also exhibits cyanotic and pallid toenails. So, being underweight means there's less body fat, and body fat is a part of the endocrine system and is involved with immune function and is involved to helping stabilize your blood sugar levels with having some fat reserves for energy. So there's all types of metabolic imbalances that can take place when people are underweight, just like when there's a lot of metabolic imbalances that take place when people are overweight. But her underweight pattern with low blood sugar and really bad circulation and perfusion and low blood pressure can really make an impact on her stamina and energy levels. So then I go on to put Sarah's dietary evaluation indicates that she is not consuming enough saturated, unsaturated fat in her diet and is deficient in essential fatty acids. She also has extended periods of time-restricted feeding between dinner and breakfast. The combination of excess thyroid hormone exposure, extended periods of time-restricted feeding, patterns of hypoglycemia, and reduced body fat may be playing a central role in her chief complaints of having low stamina and energy. These patterns, in combination with the lack of essential fatty acids in her diet, may also play a role in her current PMS symptoms and inflammatory reactions of her skin. So you need fats. You need fats to make prostaglandins. Prostaglandins are critical as a signaling agent. They have hormone-like effects, and this is a key part of what she needs to do with her diet. During the examination, there were notable patterns of atopic dermatitis, eczema, dermatographia, hyperalgesia, and a positive Blanch test that occurs with elevated levels of circulating histamines and IgE allergen responses. Identification of these potential dietary and environmental triggers will need to be evaluated. Sarah's primary concern of impaired cognitive function appears to be due to a combination of factors that impact her cerebral endurance. They include hypoglycemia, hypotension, and reduced tissue perfusion and poor circulation. She does not appear to have symptoms associated with neuroinflammation and brain fog unless she's exposed to specific dietary triggers such as lectin and pepper flakes. I think, you heard those in her history. There's definitely some concerns for autoimmunity there. So I go on to say, there's also the possibility of autoimmunity to neurological target proteins and specifically to the cerebellum. She reports specific symptoms of dizziness and vertigo, clumsiness, and brain fog when she's exposed to those dietary trigger proteins. So dizziness and vertigo, you definitely want to suspect the cerebellum autoimmunity. During these autoimmune reactions, in addition to her neurological symptoms, she complains of systemic body pain in her muscles and joints. These findings may be associated with muscle and joint autoimmune reactivities. Sarah has been able to reduce the symptoms by following the dietary restrictions of an autoimmune paleo diet. Further evaluation to determine if she was diagnosed appropriately with pernicious anemia needs to be confirmed by evaluating intrinsic factor blocking antibodies. So to kind of summarize the impressions, she has Graves' disease, she has an autoimmune disease, she probably has autoimmunity in other tissues. It seems like she has some autoimmunity involving her brain. She's definitely deficient in fat. She's definitely underweight. There's going to be key factors in her health: low body weight, low blood sugar, low blood pressure, and then inflammatory reactions all over the skin, something triggering her immune response. Those are all key contributors to what may be causing some of her chief complaints. So laboratory recommendation, Cyrix Ray 5. If you remember Cyrix Ray 5, well, do 24 tissue antibodies. We can see if there's any autoimmunity to neurological target proteins, joint target proteins, and then, brain, heart, liver, pancreas, and so on, so we can get a really good screen. Comprehensive blood chemistry panel. Comprehensive blood chemistry panel that I typically run includes a comprehensive chemistry panel 14, glucose, HbA1c, ferritin, homocysteine, C-reactive protein, thyroid panel, CBC with differential, and lipid panel. So I want to look at our plasma histamine levels, see if they're elevated because there's so many severe reactions happening with her skin. IgG allergen profile to the area 4, which is the South Orlando, Florida area. IgG allergen profiles to different foods. I just want to see if she has any IgE reactions because she had some skin blanching and dermatographia and symptoms of actual allergy and some of those expressions we found with her skin. So atopic dermatitis, eczema, dermatography, meaning you can write on their hands, hyperalgesia, just increased perception of pain with the pinwheel, if you remember that. Positive blanch test, just when you just see that red color, white color change with pressure. Okay, no additional imaging or special studies at this time. Dietary recommendations: continue with the dairy-free, gluten-dairy, nightshade, lectin-free diet. Basically, the autoimmune paleo diet. She has an autoimmune disease. It's been working for her. She will benefit staying on that. Now, I want her to eat diverse fats to improve prostaglandin balance. Use oils daily, such as flaxseed oil, cold-pressed, organic grapeseed, avocado oil, borage oil, evening primrose oil, fish oil. Stabilize blood glucose levels. So I want her to eat within the first hour in the morning with high fat and high protein meal. Eat every 2 or 3 hours with healthy fats, proteins, and high fiber foods. Increase sodium intake, salt food regularly using sea salt and not iodized salt. So these will help stabilize her blood sugar levels. If her blood sugar levels start to stabilize, we can start to see her adrenal function improve over time. And then nutritional support. So nutraceuticals. So I use something called Adrenastem. Adrenastem is, these are all products that I help formulate for Apex Energetics. But Adrenastem is basically glycyrrhiza. Glycyrrhiza downregulates 11-beta-hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase. That allows for sodium retention, helps with that may potentially help with low blood pressure. And licorice extract also can slow down cortisol clearance, so it can allow cortisol to hang out in the bloodstream longer. People have low cortisol patterns that can be very helpful. So that's the first product here. ProGlyco SP is basically a product that I designed to help support hypoglycemics. It's just loaded with lots of B vitamins. It has some adrenal extract tissue in there, and I use it whenever I see someone who's got low blood sugar patterns. Electro-pH complex is basically electrolytes. So lots of potassium bicarbonate and all the different essential minerals that are necessary to support electrolytes are in this product here. Sarah was instructed to continue with any supplements she was taking that she felt was helping her. So she was on a lot of supplements. Sometimes trial and error and people experimenting is the best thing. So I didn't want her to have or stop anything she felt that was helping her. My big concern is for her just to gain body weight, stabilize her blood sugar, get some fats in her diet. This is not a supplement game with her case. It's those other factors. Now, the goals of clinical management are to stabilize her blood glucose levels and prostaglandins, increase body weight to 115 to 120 pounds, investigate autoimmune triggers, and prenatal support. And the treatment plan will be phase 1 and phase 2. So phase 1, because she does ultimately want to have a healthy pregnancy, we want to see how much time we have. So, if you look at her age, she's right, in that mid-30s where things can start to go the wrong way. So I want to have evaluate her follicle integrity with the AMH test, and also have her get ultrasound, follicle reserve, and plan strategy for healthy pregnancy and timelines. So if her follicle reserves are okay and her AMH test is okay, then we have time to get her as healthy as possible before she goes into a healthy pregnancy. Okay? Want to evaluate for other tissue autoantibodies, CRX-Ray5, cerebellum, neurological, intrinsic factor, the ones that pop up from the history as most likely. Wanted to continue working with her endocrinologist to reduce her T3 levels, stabilize blood glucose levels, increase body weight, 99 pounds to normal body weight of 115 to 120, increase dietary fat diversity to balance prostaglandins. Not only should she eat fat, but have diverse sources of essential fatty acids. So we're encouraging to really add in flaxseed, extra virgin olive oil, cold pressed, organic pressed rapeseed oil, olive oil, borage oil, evening primrose oil. Right, these are all the things we want. Phase 2, once we get her body weight up and get her energy improved, see what's happening with her neurological antibodies. That's when we want to look at chemical load and chemical immune reactivity for autoimmunity and prenatal care. Reevaluate serum mercury and hair mercury, if you remember those were high in the past, and then go into the whole autoimmune triggers workup. What I want her to email me regularly is what's her body weight, her blood pressure morning and noon. She can keep a journal of that. Symptoms of hypoglycemia, which I explained to her: no appetite in the morning, drops in energy levels in the afternoon, sugar cravings, and improved function after meals. I want her to let me know about her PMS symptoms, so she changed her prostaglandins to improve, and her brain and physical endurance. So that is the treatment plan for Sarah. We'll have to see how she does. Thank you.